Bridging the Gap, How to Talk to the Younger Generation. Hello, my dear friends. Before we begin, I want you to think about this question for a moment. When was the last time you felt truly connected with someone younger? Not just a quick hello, not a text or a short chat about the weather, but a real conversation, the kind that makes you both laugh, pause, and think. For many of us, those moments have become rare. Maybe you've tried to talk to your grandson, but he's always half listening, eyes on his phone. Maybe you've told your daughter a story from your past, and she smiles politely. But you can tell her mind is elsewhere. You sit together at the same table, but sometimes it feels like you're living in different worlds. This isn't just your imagination. Modern life moves fast, too fast. Technology, language, even humor have changed so quickly that the gap between generations feels wider than ever before. But behind that silence, there's something deeper, because beneath every "you don't understand me" and every "kids these days" lies the same longing, the wish to be seen, to be heard, to be loved. That wish never changes. So today, let's take a gentle journey together to understand how we can bridge that gap, not by forcing understanding, but by opening doors of the heart. We'll explore how to listen, how to share, and how to find meaning together, even when the world seems to speak a different language. And perhaps by the end, you'll discover that the bridge you've been searching for has always been within you, waiting to be crossed. Begin with curiosity, not judgment. When we were young, we wanted to be understood, not corrected, not compared. And now that we're older, the younger generation wants the same. But sometimes, without meaning to, we fall into the role of teacher, the one who knows better. We say things like, "In my day, people respected their elders. Kids today have it so easy." We don't mean harm. We just want to share what we've learned. But to young ears, it can sound like a wool, a reminder that we live in different times. So instead of teaching, try asking. Ask your grandson, "What's the best part of your week? What are you most excited about right now?" Ask your granddaughter, "What does friendship look like for your generation?" These questions say, "I want to understand you," and when you show curiosity, you give them permission to do the same for you. Curiosity builds connection, judgment breaks it. It's that simple, and that powerful. And once curiosity opens the door, the next step is learning to keep that door open through the quiet art of listening. Listen without trying to fix. Have you ever noticed how quickly we want to solve things? A young person shares a problem, and immediately, we want to offer advice. "Don't worry, it'll be fine. Just do it this way." But sometimes, what they need most isn't a solution. It's simply to be heard. Listening, truly listening, means being present. Not planning your reply, not thinking of your own story, but hearing their heart behind the words. Try saying, "That sounds really hard. I can see why that upset you. Tell me more." You'd be amazed how deeply that simple act of listening can heal. Because when someone feels understood, they start to open up, and that's when real connection begins. Now that we're learning to listen with our hearts, let's remember something essential. The world may have changed, but human emotions never have. Remember, the world has changed, but emotions haven't yet. Technology has changed everything. They have phones,
apps, slang we don't recognize, but their hearts?
They're still made of the same things ours were. Hope, fear, longing, confusion, dreams. When your grandson feels pressure to succeed, it's not so different from when you tried to prove yourself decades ago. When your granddaughter feels lonely despite hundreds of online friends, it's the same loneliness. We felt, just wearing a different face. So instead of saying, "I don't get it," say, "That sounds familiar. I remember feeling that way too." That small sentence connects centuries. And once we begin to understand each other emotionally, the question becomes, how can we speak in ways that build bridges, not walls? Let's find out together. Speaking their language, gently share stories. not lessons. When we tell stories, we speak a language every generation understands, but how we tell them matters. Instead of saying, "You should be more responsible," tell a story like, "When I was 25, I thought I could handle everything myself, until I couldn't." Stories make wisdom feel alive, not like a rule book. And if you tell them with humility and humor, the young will lean in, not tune out. A woman once told me that her teenage grandson was always glued to his phone. Instead of nagging, she said, "You know, when I was your age, I was glued to the radio. I couldn't stop listening to Elvis." He laughed, and that became their running joke. Soon, he asked her to show him old music, and one evening, she caught him humming "Can't Help Falling in Love." That's how connection happens, not by demand, but by delight. Once you've opened their hearts through stories, the next step is just as important: learning when to let go. Respect their independence. It's natural to want to guide, to protect. But sometimes, the best gift you can give is trust. When you say, "I believe you'll figure it out," you're planting confidence in their heart. They may stumble, like we all did, but they'll remember your faith in them. And that memory becomes a quiet light they carry through life, because wisdom isn't control. It's faith in the process of growth. And as you give them space to grow, you might discover something beautiful, that learning goes both ways. Learn with them, not just about them. Here's a secret most older people overlook. Young people love to teach when someone is truly interested. So ask them to show you something new, a song, a cooking trend, a piece of technology. You might laugh together. You might fail together, but you'll also bond. And in that laughter, something magical happens. The roles of teacher and student disappear. You become equals, two curious souls sharing time. But what about those moments when connection feels harder to find? When silence settles in, or differences seem too wide to cross? Let's explore that next. When understanding feels out of reach. Don't let differences turn into distance sometimes. It's not about technology or slang. It's about values. Maybe your grandchild sees the world differently. Their politics, relationships, or beliefs confuse you. It's okay to disagree. But disagreement doesn't have to mean disconnection. Instead of debating, try exploring. Say, "Help me understand why you feel that way," or "That's interesting. What made you think about it like that?" Curiosity softens conflict, and when you listen without trying to win, you give the relationship room to breathe. Because love isn't about agreement. It's about staying present even when you don't. And when you find yourself in those moments of tension, remember this simple truth. Kindness always matters more than being right. Choose kindness over being right. Sometimes silence speaks louder than any argument. When a topic gets heated, pause, smile, change the subject gently. You can think, "I don't need to prove I'm right. I just need to prove I care." Because in the end, the person across from you matters more than the point you're making. As one wise elder once told me, "The bridge between hearts is built one gentle word at a time and destroyed by pride in a single moment." And even if the bridge takes time to build, remember, every small effort matters. Practice patience. Every connection takes time. Some bridges take longer to build, especially if the younger generation has drifted away for a while. Maybe they're busy. Maybe they're afraid of being judged. Maybe they've forgotten how peaceful your presence can be. Don't give up. Send a message now and then, a postcard, picture from the past, something that says, "I'm thinking of you." Connection isn't built in one grand conversation. It's built in 1,000 small gestures that whisper, "I'm still here." And when those gestures start to come alive again, you'll see the bridge isn't built with words alone. It's built with love. The bridge is built with love. There's a story I love about a retired teacher named Mary. She had 3 grown children, all living in different states. They called on holidays, sent cards. But she missed the closeness they once had, so one day, she decided to change something, herself. Instead of waiting for them to reach out, she began sending little voice notes, short ones, just a few seconds long. "Good morning, sweetheart. I saw a sunrise that made me think of you. Remember that song we used to sing? It came on the radio today." At first, no one replied, but she kept going, softly, steadily, lovingly. After a few weeks, one of her sons called and said, "Mom, I listen to your messages every day." I just didn't know what to say back. That's the thing about love. Sometimes it needs time to echo back, and once it does, the bridge is stronger than ever. So, my dear friends, as we close today's reflection, remember this: bridging generations isn't about changing who you are. It's about opening who you are. It's about saying, "My world may be different, but my heart still understands." And when that message is clear, you'll see something beautiful. The young will start crossing the bridge toward you. Because in a noisy world, they're still searching for what you've always had: patience, presence, and peace. Closing reflection. So tonight, when you see your phone light up, don't scroll past. Send a message, ask a question, share a memory. It might seem small, but every word, every gesture is a plank in the bridge between hearts. And who knows, that small step could become the start of a conversation that changes not just their life, but yours too. Thank you, my friends, for spending this time with me. If today's message touched your heart, please give this video a like, share it with someone you love, and subscribe to Elder Wisdom, where every story reminds us that aging isn't about losing connection. It's about deepening it. Until next time, be gentle. Stay curious and keep your heart open.